Very good morning, children. How are you all? Hope so. All of you are definitely doing very well. Now you already got the idea of our study, no? That's why. Now, I hope that you may understood our two lessons revision that we did it in a previous session, right? So, today I want to ask you one question. Are you ready to answer me all these questions? Right? Like on the same day that all of you really replied very nicely, I'm very glad to read your feedbacks and the answers as well. That all of you are very happy to give me these answers on the same time. Okay, so I'm today asking you that have you observed the sky at night time? Have you seen it from your gallery, from the terrace, or if you have visited in your village at night time whenever you are sitting on the ground with your family members? Have you seen it in the sky? So many situations are there, but the question is the same, that you have seen or you have observed the sky, right? So if the answer is yes, then the next question is, what have you seen in the sky? Absolutely, the moon, stars, or maybe somewhere any kind of shape you may have seen, whether it is a cloudy shape, whether the shape is related to the stars or the group of stars, or any one star only you can see that to the north side, that is a pole star, right? No, or what else you can see it in the sky. So all these things if you have seen in the sky, no, we call all these objects celestial bodies. Okay, so about these celestial bodies, today we will see the information in the lesson, the earth in the solar system. At the same time, we will think about it, where our earth is in the solar system. What is it, the solar system? Right now, at what position we can see our earth in the system? Right? Many questions are there in our mind. So today we'll try to solve all these questions. So in this lesson, we'll see about all these celestial bodies: stars, sun, constellations, pole star, planets, galaxies, asteroids, meteoroids. Right? No? All these form the family of this universe. Understood? Now, first of all, we'll think about at night time which object attract us, and that object we do pray. We would like to see that one every day, and that is the symbol of God, also, like that. Yes, moon, we always see it in the sky night time. Whenever we are saying anyone a good night, that time also we are sending the image of a moon, right? That this is a night time. So, if you have seen this picture, here we are at the third position. To your left side, this is a big star, that is a sun. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the inner planets, 4 planets, including Earth. We are at the third position. Outside this celestial bodies, we do have the other planets like the Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, okay, like that. So we are at the third position and Mars is on the fourth position behind us in a red color. Can you see it? Right? So after this Mars, we do have this position of Jupiter. So in between Mars and the Jupiter, whichever these parts you can see in between Mars and the Jupiter, colors are the same, but the sizes of these two planets are very different, if you can see. So in between these two planets, we can see here the different parts of the things or the objects. What are these small parts or the objects? What do we call? Do you have this any idea about it? We call these parts asteroid belts. So inside this asteroid belts, this four planet comes. Which are those four planet? First planet is Mercury. Second planet is Venus. Third planet is Earth. And the fourth planet is, yes, Mars. Okay, now after this fourth planet, there is a belt of this objects, small particles. Okay, and after the small particles, again the orbital path, elongated path, you can see it, and that is of Jupiter. This is in a very big size than the Mars also. So in between these two planets, between this Jupiter and the Mars, we can see the asteroid belts. Then after the Jupiter, you can see here the belt that is of Saturn. After the Saturn, we do have the Uranus planet. And after Uranus, you can see that is the Neptune. Okay, these are too far from the Sun. So these planets are getting very less heat and the light of the Sun. These are the outer planet. Okay. And these planets don't have their own heat and light. Everyone knows it, right? No? Here are some pictures of constellations. What is it? Constellations. Whenever we have observed the sky, right? No, I asked you, you can see the different kinds of shapes or the group of stars that forms its shapes, like that you can see it, that because of this group of stars I can see the shape of this, right? So we call it constellations. So while watching the night sky, you may notice various patterns. Those are formed by different groups of stars, and these are called constellations. Among that constellations, this Orion is also famous, and this seven stars, we call it a Saptarishi, right? This is a group of stars. This is a group of seven stars. That's why we call the Saptarishi. Rishi, in the sense, in English, we call it sages. Okay. So, it is also called the constellation. And this is a Ursa Major as well. Constellation, you can say the various patterns it is formed, just I told you before, by different groups of stars. Ursa Major or a Big Bear, Saptarishi, or group of seven stars that forms a part of Ursa Major constellation. Okay. There is a big bear also, we can say it. So these are very interesting shapes. Sometimes you can see the shapes of the different animals, like a lion also is there. Okay. And you can see the bear shape, you can see the scorpion shape. Okay. So these are the constellations. We can see the galaxies also. So what is it? What is that galaxy? Everyone knows that galaxy, it is a cluster of millions of stars. You can see here the millions of stars are the clusters of millions of stars. Okay. What you are going to observe it, you may attract this different colors as well. Right, no? Do you like this picture of this galaxy? Hmm? This is a huge system of billions of stars. Clouds of dust also you can see here, and the different kinds of gases you can see it here in the galaxy. I can show you the other galaxies also. This is only the introductory information I told you about it. Okay. Next is, what do you see? This is a brightest sun. This is a star, that the star is quite close to us, that we can see the star every day. Right, no? And we do always pray as a source of heat. Right? And the sun is in the center of this solar system. And around this sun, the other planets are having their own revolution and the rotation in a different speed. Right, no? How around this, if you have seen just before I shown you the picture around the sun, how these planets are having their own path also, orbital path. We call it a elongated path. What is that elongated path? The longer the planets, those are moving around the sun, they're having a oval shape, round path. Okay, so that path is called the elongated path. We call it a orbit also. Okay, so the sun is in the center of the solar system, and this sun is a very big, and that is made up by the hot gases. And this sun provides the pulling force, a kind of force, and that force binds the whole solar system. How much power it has, that this force binds the solar system. Decide it, how much force is having its own strength. And the sun is the ultimate source of heat and light for the whole solar system. But that tremendous heat is not felt so much by us. But we never felt like that. That this is a very tremendous heat we do have around us. The sun is about 150 million kilometer away. How many kilometer away? 150 million kilometer away from us. Okay, that's why. And because of the rotation of the earth also, we do have the day also, night also. Right, no? Now, it was about the sun. I hope that you may understood the sun. Next, you can see planets, these are rotating around the sun. Just I told you and explained you the which planets are here, right? This one is the star, and around this sun these planets are moving on their orbital elongated path. Do you think that you can see this shine on these planets? Do these planets lit by themselves? Yes or no? I want your answers. If you can see the shine on these planets, then these planets lit by themselves? Yes or no? If yes, let me know the reason that these planets lit by themselves. They do have their own light, they do have their own heat. If no, then how do they don't have their own heat and light? Because those are planet and those are moving around the sun. So the sun rays, sun's brightness, sun's heat comes on this surface of the planets. That's why it lits and we can see them. Okay. Why we can see these planets? Because of this brightness of the sun, brightness of the star. Okay, sun is the center of this solar system. You can see the other small stars also here around it, right? See, these are also the other stars, but those are far from the sun. That's why we do not get their heat and light. Some stars are too far that because of this sun's brightness it lights up, and that's why you can see them. Okay, so all the 8 planets of the solar system move around the sun in fixed path. Just I told you before, right? So the path we call the orbital path also. So this Mercury is nearest to the sun. Who was that Mercury? Is it a planet or the star? Can you give me the answer? Just before I told you the names of planets, the inner planets and the outer planets, right? No? So in that Mercury name also was there. So is it name of planet or the star? You have to put there by typing this one. Okay, so let me tell you. So according to this distance from the sun, these planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune, all these 8 planets of the solar system move around the sun in their fixed path, and we call this fixed path elongated path, or we can say the orbit also. So this Mercury is the nearest to the sun, a very smallest and the first planet you can see, that is the Mercury. Okay, it takes only about 88 days to complete one round along its orbit. Absolutely, this is too close to the sun, right? No, that's why it may get the 88 days to complete one round, right? Again, the distance matter of the next planet. The next planet is Venus, and this Venus is also considered as Earth's twin, because this Venus size and the shape are very much similar to that of the Earth. Because of the Venus size and the shape, are very much similar to that of the Earth. That's why we call this Venus planet Earth's twin. It is considered as Earth's twin. Okay, so just recently in 2006 August, this Pluto was considered as a planet. However, in a meeting of the International Astronomical Union, a decision was taken that Pluto, like other celestial bodies discovered in recent past, may be called dwarf planets. Okay. Now we'll think about our Earth. Here you can see the sequence. Here is the Mercury, second is the Venus, third is the Earth, fourth is the Mars. Now here these inner planets, 4 planets, are separated by these asteroids that you can get it in between the Mars and the Jupiter's orbital path. Only in this is the belt of the asteroid, also in between Mars and the Jupiter. In between you can see the asteroid belt that I shown you in the previous picture as well. Okay, so out of this belt we'll get the first planet, that is Jupiter, outer planet, Saturn, second outer planet, Uranus, that is the another outer planet, and the fourth one Neptune, that is the last outer planet from this asteroid belt. Inside this asteroid belt to till Mercury, including Mercury, we call these inner planets. Outside this asteroid belt we call these outer planets: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. These are the outer planet. And where do we see this asteroid belt? Yes, between the Mars and Jupiter's orbital path. Okay. Next is Earth. It looks very attractive, very nice, and the fresh color, right? You feel very happy. Very nice blue color. Wow. Right, no? Yes. From outside the Earth you can see the space like this, and the Earth also. See the white color shine of the sun rays. It is not the shine of its own. As I told you, planets don't have their own heat and light. They can shine, they can lit, they can see it because of the sun rays. It covers on the surface of these planets. Okay. So this Earth is the third nearest planet, as I told you just before. So I repeated again here. Okay. So in the size, it is the 5th largest planet. Sorry. If according to the size, if you counted the planets, so we do have the 5th in a rank according to the size of the planets. Okay, it is the 5th largest planet. It is slightly flattened at the poles. That's why its shape is described as a geoid. Geoid. Okay, flattened to the pole side. Pole side, which are those? North pole side and south pole side. These 2 poles are there, and both to the pole side you can see slightly flattened this Earth, and that's why we call the shape of the Earth is geoid. Geoid. Geoid means like a earth like shape only. Okay, Nothing is the different. So the conditions are favorable to support our life, probably found we can on the earth only, not on the other planets. We cannot see any support of life. So the earth is neither too hot nor too cold. Right? No, we do have the different climates, weather, but we can survive here very easily on this planet I'm talking. So on this earth we can find the water, air, very essential gases that we do require for our survival, right? No, so this air has life supporting gases like oxygen, that is the main gas we need for all living beings, right? No, so because of these reasons the earth is a unique planet in the solar system. Understood why the earth is a unique planet in this whole solar system. And from the outer space the earth appears blue because its two-thirds surface is covered by water only. Two-thirds surface. It is therefore called a blue planet. That's why we call the earth blue planet also. Okay, now we'll think about our moon. Right, it's very attractive at the night time. Understood? And we also would like to say good night to everyone very lovingly. And it has every day it has a different shapes and the sizes, and it attracts us, right? So our earth has only one satellite, and we call this moon as a satellite of our earth. This moon diameter is only 1/4 that of the earth. From our earth size, if we compare the size of the moon, okay, we can say that is only the 1/4 of the earth. That much size we can see of this moon, and it is nearer to our planet also than other celestial bodies. Other celestial bodies and the other planets are quite far from the earth, but this satellite is quite close to us. We can see it every day at night time, right? So now you can compare the distance of the earth from the sun and that from the moon. The moon moves around the earth in about 27 days. It is completely closer to the whole month, right? No, almost. So it takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. If the sun distance from the earth and the earth's distance from the moon and the sun, you can calculate the distance between the earth and the sun. Second thing, you can say the celestial bodies and the other planets are quite far from the earth than the moon. We call the moon is the satellite of the earth, that is a natural satellite, you can say. So this is also a kind of celestial body that moves around the planets in the same way like the planets move around the sun. So this celestial body like a moon naturally is also the kind of planet that moves around the other planets. Other planets too have their own satellites, but for the earth we have only one satellite. Okay, this moon moves around this earth in about 27 days. It takes exactly the same time to complete one spin. Okay, so only one side of the moon is visible to us on the earth. Okay, both side we cannot see at the same time, because whichever part of the moon comes in front of the sun, and the sun's bright sun covers the area of the moon, only that much area we can see it from the earth. I told you just before in the initial of the lesson also, the different sizes of the moon around the earth, right? So it takes the 27 days to complete the round around the earth. So in this days it has a different sizes and the shape, you can see it in the sky. So according to their moving time, whichever part comes in front of the sun rays, that part covers the brightness of the sun rays, only that part we can see it from the earth. Okay, moon is also not having its own heat and light, only because of the sun rays we can see it at the night time also. As a result, only one side of the moon is visible to us on the earth. The moon does not have conditions favorable for life. And if you can see that, let me live on the moon. But it's not possible, because the conditions that we require to survive, that is not favorable on the moon. Because it doesn't have a water also, and nor have a air also. On the moon you can see the mountains. These black color dots are also there. Just try to observe this. Okay, this plain area, depressions on its surfaces. Also, these cast shadows on the moon's surface. Look at the full moon and observe these shadows. So this black color you can see now, these are the shadows of these mountains. Okay. It was about the natural satellite that celestial bodies comes around the earth or comes around the other planets as well. Here you can see a human made satellite. Human made, that we made it to get the more information of this earth, right? Not only the earth, but related the whole solar system or about the space as well. So that's why this we can see here a satellite that is man made or the human made. This is an artificial body, everyone knows it, and that is designed by the scientists, those who got the information about the universe or the communication or the information that is carried by the rockets or the placed in the orbital around the earth. Okay, so some of the Indian satellites in space are like INSAT, IRS, EduSat. Okay, these are the names of the human made satellite that we put it. Next you can say about the asteroids. Understood the difference between the moon is a natural satellite and the difference between the human made satellite? Okay, now these are the asteroids. Now what is it asteroids? If you can see and observe here, you may find that these are the stones that moves around the earth, right? No, or in the space, everything is there, including the gas like or the dust like material around it, right? So apart from the stars, the satellites and the planets, there are the numerous tiny bodies, okay, those move around the sun. These bodies are called asteroids. Neatly observe all these pictures, okay, and hear and listen it very carefully, the information I am conveying to you. So apart from this, what we have seen till now, stars, planets and the satellite. Except this, there are the numerous other very smallest and numerous tiny bodies you can find in this system, and those move around the sun, and these bodies are called asteroids, okay. So they are found between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter, okay. And because of this belt, asteroid belt, we call the inner planet, other inner planets are 4, right, and the outer planet of this asteroid belts, those are the other 4. Now we'll think about what happened with these belts that we can find between the orbits of Mars and Jupiter. Scientists are of the view that asteroids are parts of the planet which exploded many years back. According to the scientists, they do have this kind of thinking or the view that these asteroids are the parts of the planet, and these planets were already exploded many years back, okay. It was about the asteroids. This is meteoroids. Now what is it, meteoroid? The small pieces of rocks which move around the sun are called meteoroids. Sometimes these meteorites come near the earth and tend to drop upon it. Sometimes we are having that kind of feeling that now it is going to fail on the earth, right? So during this process, due to the friction with the air that get heated up and burn, once these particles comes in the nearby the earth, the force is there to attract all these bodies towards the earth. What was that force? Right name of that force. While coming into that force contact, this rock started the friction with the air or the atmosphere that we do have around this. So sometimes this friction with the air, they get heated and burnt, and it causes a flash of light. Sometimes meteor, without being completely burnt, falls on the earth also. It was not burnt completely, and it creates some hollowness. Hollow, it means the empty, okay. So do you see a whitish broad band, like a white glowing path across the sky, like this? Have you seen? How many times you can see? You cannot count, right? We always ask our wishes whenever we are looking at like this meteorite, right? No, so this whitish broad band, like a white glowing path across the sky on a clear starry night, it is a cluster of millions of stars, right? Now let me tell you the difference between this meteorites and the asteroids. There is a line between this. Okay, so upwards we can see the meteorites. These meteorites, your left side you can see the circle found throughout the space, you can see. Another in between front, you can see the average ones are the size of a pebbles. The average meteorites, these sizes are in a size of pebbles and typically vaporize in the atmosphere. Whenever it comes in the contact with the atmosphere, it started vaporizing. Okay, now what about the asteroids? These are mostly found in the asteroid belt only, between the Mars and Jupiter only. Second, we can see can be hundreds of kilometers across because it covers the whole orbital path, no, between Mars and the Jupiter. So it can be the hundreds of kilometers across. These asteroids you can find, and these asteroids are capable of causing large impacts. Okay, so these are the difference between the meteoroid and the asteroids. Here you can see the another picture of galaxy that previously I have shown, that was in another color also, and it attracts us with the dust, stars and other particles in the space. Okay, so this galaxy is a huge system of billions of stars and clouds of dust and gases. Okay, that's what I want to show you and want to tell you. Okay, here you can see the whole picture of universe that I shown it to you before, but didn't tell you that we call it a universe. Okay, it includes everything, includes sun. This orbital path you cannot see it by your eyes. Okay, these are the imaginary lines that we have settled here. This elongated path, they do have the naturally, they are moving according to their speed. Okay, so these are the asteroid belts between the Mars and the Jupiter. It's very nice and attractive, no? Only because of sun. Suppose their sun rays is not there, sun's brightness is not there, can you see all this beauty of this system? Yes, correct. We cannot see, we cannot enjoy this beauty. This is the nature, right? I hope all of you may understood this lesson, and you will try yourself to read it by your own again. Okay, so today this is your homework, that you will read this lesson, and the next period you will inform me the new information related the solar system that you found, that you read it somewhere, that you have shared it with your friends. Okay, thank you all of you, take care.